Hi, today I am talking about downsizing and the truth about downsizing, the pros and cons of downsizing. So let's get into this video. Are you considering downsizing but concerned about what's going to happen if I do downsize? But downsizing can be a game changer for you. It could give you a lot more freedom. It give you less maintenance. So let's look at this. What will I do with all my stuff? Who's going to get it? Do I really want it? Do I still need it? So these are really good common concerns, and we're going to break it all down today here. I'm going to give you the pros and cons of downsizing, what makes it so hard, where to start, and I'll give you my pro tips on how to make downsizing a smoother transition. Hi guys, I'm Amy Clark with Crowlike Realtors, your go-to girl for living in Memphis in the Mid-South and buying and selling real estate here in Memphis. Before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing for me, and turn on that bell for notifications so you never miss another what's gonna come out of Amy's mouth video. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna start by the pros of downsizing. When you are downsizing, you've been in your house, you're a little older, you're ready to move on, or you just have too much house. If you have these rooms you haven't walked in 3 years, or you haven't gone upstairs in 2 maybe, let's see what we can do to help you. By downsizing, typically you will have lower expenses. You may be able to have a paid off house. You may have lower or no maintenance on your yard. Your utility bills will be lower. Your expenses are often just lower with a smaller house. That might be something to consider, to have lower expenses. In your older age, or your retirement age, or you're coming up to it, or you're an empty nester, you just don't need all of these expenses anymore. However, my mother and my grandmother did not abide by that rule whatsoever. My mom had a 5-bedroom house, hoping all of her kids would eventually move back into it. My grandmother was the same way. She had a 5-bedroom house also, and they had all of their stuff. My grandmother did a little better at downsizing than my mom. She held on to my Barbie dream house that I had in the 1980s. It was in not good shape when we got it out of the attic. So that was something she just, had an emotional attachment to things. And that can be a real scary when you're trying to downsize. Okay, so lower expenses, less maintenance, less rooms in your house, fewer things that can go wrong to fix. You're tired of spending all your weekends doing repairs or yard work, maintenance around the house. A smaller home might be your ticket to freedom. Speaking of freedom, more freedom with lower costs and less responsibility. Maybe you can travel more. Maybe you can do the things you've been putting off for a while. Hobbies, painting, that kind of thing. Just something to think about, just to downsize. Really, do you need your grandmother's china, silver plates, better location options? People who downsize often can find the freedom to finally move into the place that they've always wanted to move into. A gated community, 55 and older, these kind of communities, or a trendy little condo in the city. Whatever your lifestyle type is, you can probably downsize and give yourself some more freedom. And selling a large home can probably free up some money in your retirement. So you can just simply put them in investments or enjoy your life more. You could buy a smaller house outright and eliminate a mortgage altogether. Sounds good, but what are the problems with downsizing? There can be some real emotional challenges to downsizing. So I don't want to sugarcoat it, but downsizing does come with challenges, and it's not for everyone. Like I just said, it was not for my mom. She definitely did not want to ever downsize. The emotional attachment, selling a home with years and years of memories can be hard. You've celebrated holidays here, you've had families here, you've had grandchildren here. It's hard to let go of something like that. I know it's going to be hard for my husband when we finally move out of our house and downsize or upsize. Maybe I'm a lot like my mom, I don't know. But my husband is very attached to this house. I know that up front, I know that going into it, he is very attached to our house. The other thing is you could be limited on space. If you're used to being in a large house and then all of a sudden your main bedroom is, an 8 by 10, or a 10 by 10, or, and your bedroom is supposed to, normally, maybe you have to get smaller furniture, maybe you have to rethink smaller lifestyle, smaller everything. If you have limited space, you may have to get rid of a lot of furniture, you may have to get rid of a lot of your artwork, you may have to get rid of lots of stuff. So you just don't have the size of the house that you did have. There are selling and moving costs associated with downsizing. It's not just about the money you're gonna make on selling your big house. It comes with costs. There are realtor fees, of course, we have to get paid. closing costs, moving expenses, these kinds of things. Storage fees if you don't find the house right away, the perfect house for you right away. So you may have some expenses and in the process of downsizing. And adjusting to a newer home, a smaller home in a smaller community, smaller lot. You've lived in a large home for years and now you're moving into a condo or a smaller space. It could be a huge adjustment. Less privacy could be an issue, fewer rooms, a different neighborhood dynamic. You just never know what you're gonna get when you move. New neighbors could be nosy, especially I think in older communities. That's a rumor that I hear, that people can be nosy in these 55 and older communities. They wanna know who's coming and going at all times of the day and night and who just left in an ambulance. So they wanna know everything. So that could be an issue for you if you're used to being very private in your large house. And so that's something to consider for sure. So how do we navigate these challenges? Let's talk about how to downsize and how to make this challenge a little easier. Let's decide what to keep and what to downsize, what to get rid of. I mean, that sorting through years of belongings can be emotionally draining and exhausting. If you've lived in your house for over 20 years, you might not even know where to begin. So we attach memories to things. That old chair, the dining room, the boxes of the old school projects. Feelings of letting go of the past can be very hard. I have friends that are like this. They keep everything, and it's hard for people to let go. So what if I need it later? What if I need to find it again? That's another big fear. What if you get rid of something and regret it? Why is that important to have that's why it's important to have a decluttering plan in place. Okay, storage is tricky. Some people opt to rent a storage unit, but that can get expensive very fast. It really can. Better options is to be ruthless about what truly matters. Does this really matter to me? Is my son going to want my great-grandmother's china? Is he gonna want all of the sterling silver and silver platters? You need to be honest with yourself. People, your children and your grandchildren don't want your stuff. It's gonna be hard for them to go through it, and it puts a burden on your family when you've gone, you're passed away, and they have to go in and clean out your stuff. And they may or may not know what was important to you, or may not know what's important and accidentally throw something away that is important. So that's happened to me going through my mom's stuff and going through my grandmother's stuff. I just didn't know what was important and what wasn't important. So probably made some bad decisions in getting through some of this stuff, but she didn't want to downsize, so it was up to me and my brothers to take care of that for her. It takes time. Downsizing is not a weekend job. It's going to take months and months, and give yourself time to downsize if you need to without feeling rushed. That's a key. Don't feel rushed when you're downsizing. Start small, and then that brings us to where we need to start. Step one, plan ahead. Don't wait until you're moving out to start decluttering. You will throw away things. You will go, I don't care. Just get rid of it. I don't care. That is bad. Give yourself 3 to 6 months before listing your house to give yourself time to declutter and to downsize, essentially. Start with easy items, old clothes, duplicate kitchen items, the things you haven't touched in years. These are easy wins. You can get, if you haven't worn it in 2 years, you're not going to wear it again. It's my rule of thumb in my closet. Every year, every 6 months, I try to get out of my closet. If I haven't worn it in 6 months, I am not gonna wear it again. That's just one of those things. Start with old clothes and kitchen items, duplicate kitchen items. I now have 2 of everything in my kitchen. I have 2 of the same cookbooks. I have 2 of the same dishes. If my mama had it, my grandmother had it. They had the exact same things. I think my mom gave gifts. Okay, the girls are all getting this. My sister-in-law, me, my mom, my grandmother, we all got the same candles. We all got the same crystal plates. We all got the same cookbooks. Everything was the same. So if I don't have 2 of them, I have 3 of them now. That's one thing to do, is get rid of those duplicate items. That's easy to do. Number 3, tackle one room at a time. Trying to do everything all at once is so hard. You don't want to live in an uproar of your house in shambles. Just do one room at a time. That will make the process so much easier. Start in the guest room, start in the guest bathroom, and just clean out old stuff. It's amazing what can accumulate when you don't go in these rooms for a long time and you forget you even have it. Step 4 says use the 1-year rule. If you haven't used it in a year, chances are you're not gonna use it. I just talked about this. It's just one of those things. We're creatures of habit, yes, but we also move on and find other things, and if we don't use it, we don't use it. So get rid of it. Scan paperwork, scan documents, mementos, photos, if you can, if you have the time and the money to do it, it saves space without losing these memories. So that's a great idea, to scan documents and photos and get it all into one place. Then you can go back and see it. But my tip to you guys is, because I went through this, my tip is, if you as the mother or the grandmother know who is in this picture, please label the picture for those of us who don't know who that person is. I have a gorgeous 1911, the year 1910 or 1911 picture of my great grandmother. She's got a little white string of pearls on. She's got her 1910 haircut. It's just a gorgeous picture. And I don't know her name. I know she's my great grandmother, but I do not know her name. So they were gone, long gone, before I was ever around. And it just broke my heart to see these pictures and have all these memories that are someone's memories, and I don't know their names or what side of the family they came from. That's my tip for you, my pro tip on family photographs. Once you start digging in, you'll feel a lot lighter. And then when it comes to moving, you could actually save yourself thousands of dollars in moving costs if you have smaller furniture, less of it, less paperwork, less boxes, you could save yourself a lot of money. So selling your home and buying smaller is a process too. A successful downsizing is just the beginning of it. You've got to sell your house at the best price at the current market rate. So work with a realtor. Always work with a realtor. Navigating the real estate market is not your job. That's my job. So I'll help you price your home correctly, get it sold fast. And if you downsize, you don't have to go through all the decluttering and cleaning up and all this stuff already. It's already done for you. You've already prepared. You've already made your decision to downsize, and you started the process. So that's the first thing. Know the market. Know if it's a buyer's market or seller's market. So if you have time in a buyer's market, or if you don't have time. So if the market's hot, you can sell your home quickly at a great price. But if it's slower, you might need a more strategic approach. So know your lifestyle. Do you want a one-level home? Do you want a condo? Do you want elevators? Do you want, picking a space that truly fits your lifestyle is gonna be your key to success in downsizing and happiness in the future. Maybe you're downsizing to move to another city, to be closer to family, be closer to those grandkids. You need to know what is gonna be best for you. So, and explore your financial options. Will you be purchasing outright with cash? Do you need a mortgage? What are the proceeds gonna be from the sale of my house? Will you reinvest those proceeds? Talk to a lender. They can help you navigate the financing, or just talk to your financial advisor and they can tell you the best way to go about and what you need to do in the future as far as mortgage or no mortgage or whatever. So talk through your financial decisions with someone in the field. Now we're gonna prepare your house for sale. Now, I've done some seller videos on seller safety and what you need to do to get your house sold fast and how to prepare for the selling process. So look at those videos. Those are really good, fantastic, informative videos. But preparing your house for sale is a big deal. Minor upgrades, fresh paint, don't paint if you can't. Hire someone to paint, never paint if you can't do it. That's a pet peeve of mine. And staging can make a difference. We don't really stage here in our market. It's not really a big deal, but if you're downsizing, the less furniture in a space makes the rooms look larger. So that's just another tip there for you. Decluttering will always make your home look bigger and appeal to more buyers. So get the little minor things fixed, get the fresh paint on the walls, and downsizing your furniture always makes your house look bigger. So that's preparation for selling your house. Okay, so let's go over it again. What are we gonna do to sell our house and downsize? We're gonna declutter before you move. Start early, 3 to 6 months early. And don't downsize the things you're gonna need. I mean, you don't want to get rid of all of your furniture and you don't have a place to sleep for 6 months or sit in a chair in your kitchen. You don't want to do that. So measure your new space. If you're gonna go small, if you're thinking about buying a condo, go and look at one, measure that space, see how much you need. Measuring the space, I don't really do this. My husband does and has a tape measure with him wherever he goes. So because he knows his wife will always go, sure, let's get this one, get it, good. And he's like, it won't fit, it's too big. That's a little tip that we have. I'm always up for buying it and he's always up for measuring it. First, Then we have to go home, and then we have to get our tape measure. Then we have to measure our space, and then we have to go back to the store and we have to measure that thing, whatever it might be. We're working on it. After 27 years of marriage, we are working it out. Sell your items, donate your items, or gift your items. You can sell them, Facebook Marketplace, consignment shops, whatever. You can do these things. Donate it to charity, or give your treasures to your family members while you are alive and tell them what it is. Tell them who these people are in these photos. I've got some photos, that scary little twins from The Shining. I don't know who they are, but I've got some photos and I wish I knew what they were. Well, anyway, back to downsizing. Label your boxes clearly. Make sure you know exactly where if they have to go in storage for a while and then you need to go into storage and find something, you may want to have that box clearly labeled so that you know which box to open, which box not to open, and where to get to it. Another tip is just hire professional movers and make sure they are licensed, insured, bonded, and they do the job themselves and do not contract it out. That is another day for another video, and we are going to talk about the moving mafia. I promise you that. We are going to get into the moving mafia. But if you hire a realtor, they will have access to the most professional movers in your area. So that's good. And finally, I want you to embrace the change. This is a new chapter in your life. This is something that is going to be so exciting and so new, and it's about a simpler life, a more fulfilling life, and maybe being closer to family. If it's right for you, it's right for you. Embrace the change. Downsizing isn't just about moving. It's about creating a simpler, more fulfilling lifestyle. Focus on benefits rather than what you're leaving behind. And finally, let's talk about timing. When is it right to downsize? Is now the right time for you? Well, you're the only one that knows that. When you're ready, it's the time. Maybe you have unused space in your house. Maybe the maintenance feels overwhelming. Your housing costs are higher than you want them to be. You want more freedom to travel and go out to dinner and see kids and grandkids. You're emotionally ready for a new chapter in your life. These are all little things that can give you the momentum or the push in your life to downsize. So if you're feeling any of these things, if you're feeling you have unused spaces, home maintenance is overwhelming, housing costs are higher, you want more freedom, then you're probably ready to downsize. So if you're thinking about downsizing, call me, give me a call. I can help you walk through it, talk you through it, talk about the emotional part of it, and maybe save you $1 or $2. And so if you're ready, I can help you. Give me a call. My name's Amy Clark with Crowlike Realtors. I can help you in the downsizing process. Contact me so together we can make your Memphis dream downsizing a reality. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.